Cara, why are people so hard on themselves?
Why are people so hard on themselves? It's a tough one, and I feel like I don't know, Podge. Maybe as a man, you can kind of talk to this as well. I feel like it tends to be women that are a little bit more harsh themselves than men, and I don't know, is that because there is a lot of unrealistic standards set for us? There's a lot of unrealistic standards set for women to like look a certain way and be a certain way, and then social media is like life now. You know, this it's just in front of us all the time, and it was like back in the day it was magazines and it was TV. And now it's just social media is this like constant hit of these standards that like the people, not everyone, but and there is a lot of good content out there of people that are like body positive and stuff and like putting good stuff out there. But then there's a lot of things that's like even that person doesn't look like that. That picture's edited. And like if even they don't look like that, how can you possibly look like that? So people just tend to be like in how they like, especially women, how they view their physical bodies can be quite hard on themselves. And then I also found the other side a bit of like, you know, I feel like in the gym sometimes women come in just saying feeling like they're not doing enough or like that they're, I don't know, just being such hard like negative self-talk. And a lot of times I'm like, you're already ahead of the curve. I don't know if you realize that. Yeah, you can't, maybe you don't run 10K a day or whatever, but you're in the gym here like 5 days a week. You're conscious of like, you know, looking after your mind, looking after your body. You're already ahead of the curve. There's like a lot of people that aren't in that position yet or are not ready to do that. So I think you kind of have to take a step back and look at where you are, accept yourself for where you are, show yourself some compassion, and like you can always strive to be better. It's good to always try and better yourself, but you don't have to absolutely shit on yourself for where you are now. Like acknowledge what you're doing. Yeah, does that make sense?
It does absolutely make sense. And I think it's very apparent that in a lot of spaces, there's an unrealistic standard that has been set. And like you said, it's not always an unrealistic standard that some few are like mega in tune with their training and are achieving this. Like it's a lot of the time, it's literally not real. It's edited, it's fixed. It's even now there's like AI can just like fabricate a person and like put them into an advert, put them into a fashion shoot. So it's even creating more unrealistic standards. And without getting too kind of
person,
it's wild. And then you add on top of that all like the societal challenges, like you're bombarded with food advertisements. Like you can go down so many dark rabbit holes.
Yeah.
Did you hear about, I don't know too much now, so I might do a really bad job of this, but did you hear about like the 5K influencer drama with Irish fitness models, like in particular women? Did you hear about that?
No, sorry, for a second there, I thought you were going to say about the guy that runs that 5K and interviews people while they run.
No, but that sounds really good. I need to check
I
him
love
out.
him. I love him. I think he's called 5K with Chris or something is what he's called. He's a guy that's completely flipped his life around and he runs 5K every day. And I think, or I don't know, it's every day, but when he runs his 5Ks, he tries to bring along people and give them a little interview and like share something positive. He's a good, positive person to follow on social media. You just got to curate your social media to make you feel good, not bad. But tell me the drama. Go on, spill the tea,
genius, Chris. So anyway, if you don't want to go down
while I
to it,
sip on my protein.
if you want to experience the drama, a story came out on social media, unsurprisingly, that a lot of these Irish fitness gurus or fitness influencers were like quote unquote running like 5Ks like every single day. And some people were kind of intrigued, going like, these people are like, how are they running 5Ks every single day? Like, how are they so good? And it actually turned out that they were not, in fact, running 5K every day. They were just like making it up essentially. And I think it kind of speaks to what you're saying with the unrealistic standards. You know, you might have a teenage girl or someone trying to get back into fitness, seeing that and almost seeing that as the norm. Like, oh, like I have to run 5K a day. Like how, like that's so far out of my reach. And then you can get like severely demotivated, and it can.
And what a ridiculous concept! Like that's just so ridiculous. It's like that guy. There was some guy that I also find like now that I'm following fitnessy stuff that it confuses me. So it's really hard for people to one person saying do this and one person saying don't. There's some guy that said if your personal trainer is making you do burpees, and I think he's got like 2 million followers. If your personal trainer is making you do burpees, fire them immediately because there's no reason why you should be doing a burpee. And I kind of was sitting there and I was like, why did you say that? Because I mean, you can only see my head, but I am quite a small person. I'm like 5'3", and I like doing all that kind of style training. Like I like HIIT training. I like that cardio stuff. But at 45, I used to win. We used to do competitions every Wednesday, and for me, I'm very competitive. I used to win these little competitions for how many burpees you could do. And I'm like, but it made me feel good and I was moving my body. Why would you ever say fire someone if they make you do a burpee? So sorry, that's a little bit off topic, but like there's all these like ridiculous standards of like run 5K a day, don't do burpees. Why can't we just be like, please move your body in a way that makes you feel good and is good for your body?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just so, I don't know, there's just so much stuff out there that it actually just annoys me.
Yeah, I think it's people would just want to be maybe controversial for the sake of like no
Yeah.
publicity is bad publicity. Unfortunately, like that feeds the algorithm a little bit too, do you know?
Yeah, and that's hilarious that it's such simple drama, but people lying about running a 5K a day, I'm like, it's just so silly.
I know. Well, what do you think? Like you said, I think it comes down to just moving your body and ultimately finding everyone's so different. Like if you really like dancing or like doing exercises such as burpees, you know, to me that is
Yeah.
much better than not doing any of
Not
those
doing
things.
things. Yeah. And I think like it's important as a coach to try and come and like meet someone where they're at. If someone comes to you and they have a goal of like, I want to completely change my body composition, I want to put on this much muscle, lose this much fat, and I want to compete in a show at the end of the year or whatever, then like as long as they're clear about what that takes, you know, then fine. You have to go down a very specific training route. Like you're not gonna be ready to compete in a show if you're doing burpees and 5Ks. You know, you have to figure out your goals and tailor them to it. But if your goal is like, I just want to get fitter or feel a little bit better, or just move my body. When you move your body and when you exercise, like all those good hormones are released. You have no control over that. Like you're going to feel good after it. So if there's people out there that just want to move and just feel good, then do whatever. Like, I mean, I used to always talk about there's one group I had working for Noom that used to be obsessed with doing dance parties in the kitchen. And to some people that might sound so funny, but like I said, my dad taught me how to dance. It was so normal in our house. My mom and dad both like to jive. And it was so normal in our house for all of us to dance in the kitchen. Like if a song came on and just jive and stuff with each other. And it was fun, and we were exercising and didn't know. See, I think we like, I don't know, it's just fun. I guess you saw it at the wedding. We all like to boogie.
Absolutely, Denise. That was a very good time.
Yeah, I do think like just move your body in a way that feels good to you, and I mean it's just as important to look after your mind as it is your physical body. All those good endorphins are released when you do move your body. So I know to me it's a win-win. I don't feel like there's any kind of exercise that's bad unless it's something that is going to injure you, and then you can't do anything. Like running 5K a day and then you get shin splints and then you can't move, and then the next thing you know, you give up. Like you just gotta find something that works for you.
We've spoken about this concept quite a lot on the show about building momentum, you know, and being able to build that sense. Like, so if you have a goal too far out, like I'm trying to think of a term, like I'm coining it like January 1st, you know, on January 1, like your mindset is like, I'm going to list out 50 things. Like I cannot wait. I'm like super, oh, this is going to be great. And then as time goes on, and by I mean, as time goes on, probably in the next hour or day or week, you start to realize like, oh damn, like my goals are like so far out of reach. Do you know what? Forget it. I'm just going to go back to the status quo. Whereas if you create small wins and build those as building blocks. So if you're giving the example of just having fun with your exercise, if you can actually kind of think, what does that mean to me? Okay, like dancing in the kitchen with my family or anything. It can be absolutely, this is where the beauty of it. It can come down to you. And then if you can do it, like get a bit of momentum from that. It's almost like a momentum bank, and it just builds and builds, and almost like snowballs. I just think it's so
like,
important.
Yeah, it's like that thing of saying like, instead of being like, I'm going to read this book this week, you can be like, I'm going to read for 5 minutes every day. Like I'm going to read for 5 minutes a day. I'm going to read one page. And like you're saying, that momentum, that usually you kind of get into it and you read like 4 pages, whatever. You read a chapter, or like sometimes I'm like, look, if you just don't feel like doing it, like these are my little pep talks I give to myself. I'm like, let's just go and we'll just do a quick 20-minute workout, or we'll do a quick 15-minute workout, whatever. Let's just do something and move our body. And you find that like once you start and you get into it, 10 minutes pass, 15, you're actually, no, I'm actually good. Next thing you know, you have an hour done. It's that momentum. Like that's kind of the short term of it, your momentum. But yeah, of course you can build it across, like, rather than trying to do 5 million things in 1 week after partying all Christmas. Like, let's just pick one thing that's doable. Start small and let's build on it and create some momentum.